Welcome back to our complete coverage of Comic-Con 2015, live from the Hard Rock Hotel, directly across from the San Diego Convention Center, where all the fun is happening all throughout the weekend.
You know, we've got like 1 foot in, 1 foot out by being out here at the Hard Rock Hotel and kind of on the perimeter of things. But I'm telling you, if you're not really an adventure seeker, you can do this, okay? You can come downtown, you can wander around, you don't have to get right in the middle of all the madness. There's plenty to see if you're just a people watcher.
Absolutely. When it comes to the actual comic book industry, so many of the people that are a part of the industry, whether they are writers or illustrators, have been doing this since they were very small children. Our next guest, Bobby Rubio, is here this morning. He's been drawing comics at local elementary schools and the middle school and high schools here, right here in San Diego native. And we understand, Bobby, that some of your teachers would tell you, all right, when you get your work done, then you can go back to drawing your comics. Is that right?
That is right. That would be Mr. Edwards from Robert E. Lee School.
Do you know that Maria Villanueva, who is a couple years ahead of you, and she's one of our producers, you mentioned that teacher the other day on the air, and she says, oh, I knew him.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the cool things about Comic-Con is these personal connections and how the thread runs back so many years for so many of you.
Yeah. Well, Comic-Con has been here forever, at least for me. I've been going here ever since it was at the hotel in downtown.
The U.S. Grant?
As a little kid.
Wow,
Yeah.
You were one of those.
Yeah.
By the way, your mic's not working. That's why I stuck this in your face all of a sudden.
Okay, that's totally fine. Yeah. Wow.
Heather was asking you, if like at family parties or out on the street, if people come up and say, hey, draw something for me, like they ask comedians, hey, say something funny. Does that happen?
Oh, all the time. It's but you try to be nice about it, and sometimes I will draw something from.
Oh, good, because I was
really
going to
cool.
ask a little bit later.
Oh, okay. I think I started drawing you guys while I was off. I was like, let me just draw Heather and Mark real quick.
Well, don't forget to sign it.
I will.
Okay, now let's talk
though.
about your career a little bit, because your career has been on the fast track since you left high school. Is that right?
There's ups and downs, but I mean, I have started after high school. I went to Cal Arts, and then to study animation, and then from there I interned at Disney, and then after that I went to Avatar: The Last Airbender at Nickelodeon, and now at Pixar. So I guess when I stop and think about it, it wasn't that bad.
Let me ask you this. You worked for these different companies, and all of a sudden it just flashed into my mind different pictures of the work. Some of that work is very different, isn't it? I mean, Disney animation doesn't look anything necessarily like Nickelodeon animation, does it?
Right. It's a good thing you pointed out on that, because Avatar: The Last Airbender was more of like a anime feel, like a Japanese anime feel. And as a kid growing up, I love that stuff. So I was able to transition to that easily. So
tell us about Foregone Conclusion.
Oh, okay. Thank you for asking.
Well, you were wearing the shirt and holding the comic,
so. Book in your hand.
Oh, right. Probably plug my book.
I feel like I was forced to ask, but no, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, my comic is called Foregone Conclusion. It's about these two hitmen. Can I hold this up? I don't know. Okay, it's about these two hitmen, Guinness the punk rock samurai and Bronson the South Beach assassin, and they have to save their boss's daughter from an island full of deadly enemies. It's an action-adventure comedy. Yeah, so it's really cool.
Action-adventure comedy. Now, what is the hope when you put out work like this, that it stands alone, or do you cross your fingers and hope that somebody says, hey, you know what, let's make a feature film out of that?
I mean, that is the dream, right? I hope so, but I know that's a long shot, so I'll keep my day job. But, I mean, I have fun. I mean, comic books have been my passion as a little kid. I've always wanted to be a comic book artist. But also, once I went to Cal Arts, animation kicked in, and I started loving that as well. So, I mean, when Disney come calling, you kind of have to say yes.
Absolutely. Now, I know we only have a couple more seconds here,
Sure.
but I know folks want to see the sketches you've already started this morning.
Okay.
This is what you do. Somebody just throws a paper and a pen at you, and you can do this in a matter of seconds?
Yes. Well, you have to learn. You have to be a fast-paced at animation. So this is Guinness and Madeline, the boss's daughter.
The boss's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, the boss's daughter. That brings up a whole nother storyline there.
Hey, Bobby, we got to let you go, but you're going to be at a panel, or actually signing, or what are you going to be doing here?
I will be at my booth, 1943, for any fans who come by, and I will draw for them. Actually, I'm drawing Bolty, that little sketch I did earlier of that Charger little character.
Little Charger lightning bolt.
Yeah, for free for every fan that comes by.
Very cool.
For free.
Okay.
So take advantage of that. All right,
Well,
Bobby,
Rubio,
good to see you. God bless, buddy.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Glad to call you one of our own. San Diego native
Yeah,
Bobby
San
Rubio.
Diego.
There you go.